Hi, thanks for spending time with me. We're looking at number 16 in the second volume of Nathan Ost's 21 Lip Flexibilities for Trumpet. These are getting a little annoying at this point. And that's not a bad thing. It's like, if you're a trumpet player, you may be the kind of person that likes to challenge yourself. Just make sure that when you're working that challenge ends up producing progress. And you're not just banging your head on the wall, so to speak, or running until you collapse in exhaustion. You're trying to improve your skill, and these exercises are certainly valuable for doing that. So I'm going to play a little bit of number 16. Here's the marked tempo, and this is a very interestingly written one. I'll see if I can play through it. And if I can do so sufficiently, good for me. But then I'll try and give you some suggestions that might help you to make progress with this, and that's what's really satisfying in your practice. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now I'm out of breath, and there's no place to breathe. There's no good place to breathe musically, and I practice playing into the end of my breath a lot, but in this case I was just trying to see if I could get through the whole thing. Now, one way you can do it is use Herbert Clark's method. You'll notice that most of the exercises in his technical studies book are marked pianissimo or piano at the most, and there's some crescendos later on, but the whole idea is to start with a very gentle sound, so you're not forcing the sound all the time. Get the easiest response you can. So if you're playing these a lot softer, and I haven't tried this, but I might be able to make it through playing softer. However, the technical difficulty is at the end of the piece. So I'm going to start, let's see, maybe I'll just play the last two lines. So I played the first three lines and mostly got through them. Now I'm going to play the last two lines and see if I can keep that going. Where's my tempo? Okay. I'm going to play that again and do parts of it a little slower, just so it's easier for you to hear. As some of you have noticed, I've been starting to put the notation on. But that can actually be a distraction. You want to be, instead of looking at the dots, which is a problem because you can tell I'm not playing dots. I'm playing a continuous, you might think of it as a kind of a ribbon or river of sound, as it were. It's a road, it's a path, it's a stream of sound, not dots. So when we look at those dots, our brain goes, oh, dots, and our body actually reacts to them as if they're dots. And I'm not playing this as dots, and if I do, it's going to be really difficult to play. So let me play that section for you again. Running out of air a little bit again, but you see what I hope you can hear what I'm working on. When I held the tone, when I sustained the tone on the lower notes, I'm letting my body find the easiest resonant place. So I'm not overblowing. I'm kind of letting go of tension that might have accumulated in my throat from trying to do the big intervals. This takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience. So don't be afraid to work on a single interval relationship, a single bar, or a single phrase at the most. And I do this very rapidly, as you can see in the way I'm approaching it. Now, the hardest part in the piece for most people is this interesting interval relationship on the fourth line. So it's a 2-octave downward slur. Most people don't like to do that. It's okay if you're a clarinet player, but trumpet players generally do not like to do that. And what I do is I keep my ears on the sound. So I have the most trouble in the low register. I tend to have trouble focusing, and so I end up trying a little bit too hard physically. I'm not releasing the air quite comfortably enough because my embouchure is not focused well enough. I know that's a lot of words. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. If it confuses you, just let it go. Take what you can from this. But I try and play these things as if I'm playing the continuous low note that I'm going back down to. So if I played that line again. Now, of course, you can do the opposite too, and it's just as effective. Now, let's say you're an advanced player and these are not too difficult for you. Then you should start playing with them. Now, you heard me playing with time, with the tempo, with flexibility in the time. I would certainly start to articulate them. So I'm going to do that once, just to show you kind of how I would work it. I'm going to do flutter tongue first at the beginning. Now, some of you may not be able to flutter tongue, and don't worry about it. If you can flutter tongue and you have good control with it, then you can practice the way I was just demonstrating. And basically that in order to keep the flutter going, and we're not forcing it, we're trying to jam the air past the tongue, but rather let the tongue flap kind of like a flag in a gentle breeze, right? And when we do that, we have to have enough airflow, and that's what really helps me working on this. And then when I go back to doing it with the tongue, I'm going to start legato. What I mean is, actually, I don't know if that was legato. That was connected with clear articulation. That's a good basic standard articulation that you want to work on. And obviously you're listening for the quality of the sound on all the notes, for the quality of the pitch relationships between the intervals. You can go into as much detail as you want, but keep it simple by doing one thing at a time. That's really the only way you can expect to make good progress when you're practicing. Now, I'm switching around, paying attention to different things very rapidly. And the reason why I do that, and I recommend it, is when you're paying close attention to one thing and you're able to consciously control your body and your mind, you're focusing well, and you're controlling the musical results so that it sounds the way you want it to, that's great, but you're doing it by conscious control. So when I immediately switch my attention to another issue, I ignore the pitch. Well, I'm not ignoring it. I'm hearing where the note should be, but I'm not intentionally trying to play in tune. Or I don't pay attention. I'm not trying too hard to do the articulation so it sounds a certain way. I'm just letting it develop naturally. So again, sustained or slurred, clearly articulated but connected. And the next thing to do is to start to separate the notes, and this would be probably your most common articulation. eventually till you get to staccato, and then secco, very dry, extremely short duration notes, and then marcato, where you have kind of an explosive beginning of the note, and the notes are very clearly delineated, very clearly marked. Now, I've gone too long with this already, but I'm going to try and see if I can play the second version of this, which is in a more difficult key, and it's a lot higher too. So let's see, he puts it up a fourth. So let's see what we can do. Now that was a little rough, but it was close enough that I feel like, oh, I'm going to rest for a second, and then I'm going to go back and see if I can dance with it. And this is what I mean. It's not just a matter of getting physical control. It's a matter of timing. And everything works according to timing when you're playing the trumpet. Any kind of mind-body coordination, it's all based on time. That's why one of my adult students, is not only a trumpet player, but he and his wife do ballroom dancing. Well, there you have music, time going on all the time, and that helps you to coordinate your body. In order to do this in this context, so I'm playing by myself, there's nobody else here, I don't have a drummer, I need to do that on the inside. So when I say dance with it, I'm trying to get that feeling of movement in time. So I'm going to see if I can play that last section, that last line, and see if I can let it dance once I find the line. I'm not really playing the notes very well, so I'm going to take my time and see if I can learn it in my ear a little bit better. Now that it's smooth enough, I can start to dance with it. So I think you've heard enough to get some ideas that you can apply to your own practice. And I hope you find these to be helpful, useful to you, and that you come back and see me another time and enjoy exploring the content on my channel. Have a great day, enjoy your practice, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.